welcome to the channel. I'm glad that you could make it. Welcome, enjoy. So I got the exhaust put on here. It's not bad. I mean, it fit pretty good. I think, I don't know, up here, because it was all loose and broken here, I don't know if that wore funny, so it's tight, but we'll have to kind of run it around a little bit and see if it leaks or how bad it leaks. Because we might have to do something about that, because it was all hinky when it was on there. But I mean, it's all together. All the holes are patched, and here's our coupler right in there. We got that bolt out. We got that bolt out. We got that bolt out. So all those bolts are out. In fact, I broke 3 easy outs trying to get those out. It wasn't fun, and man, was it a pain. But everything's on here. It's all good. It's fine. I also, while we were at it, fixed this. So I put heat right here, and you know, and it's straight now, so it looks like it fits fine. All I have left to do is this stuff, but I noticed if we let the sun work with us, that is unhooked, and there's the wire it goes to. So let me go look in the manual and see what that goes to, because everything was working. It's kind of strange, so I think that belongs together. So let me look in the manual, make sure that's all together. Then we'll probably move this back so we can tuck it all up and in, and maybe zip tie it up here or something. Just get it away from the chain. I mean, that's just, I don't like that. And I don't like all these zip tie ends. Yeah, just cut your zip ties. I have all the bolts I need to put it all back together. That's there. And then the fenders where they mount here, I didn't have any of the like rubber isolators, and I couldn't find them anywhere. And I mean, yeah, so I made these. So they're in different thicknesses. I figure I'll put a thicker one here and a thinner one on top and run a bolt through it. So I'll show you how I made these, and then also while we're at it, I will throw the fenders on, because you guys know how that goes. It just bolts on the top and then bolts in the sun there. So I'll throw those all on, get the seat on, and then I want to move over here to this front fender. So yeah, give me a second. We'll get it all thrown together, and then we're going to move on to that. Oh yeah, and silly me, I forgot to mention what a beautiful day the Lord has made. Come on, it's nice. It's snowy, but it's nice. Alright, so I busted out Manuel, and here are the wires that we're looking at. It's off the regulator, and it's green, 2 yellows, and a red. And so I started kind of tearing this apart, and so they cut it off the connector here and here, and then they put a red going back to the yellow. And then here's our red, which I mean, you shouldn't be able to do that with a good connection. And it goes over here to our non-connected red. But according to Manuel, that red wire actually goes to a 7 amp fuse, and then it goes to the starter relay. But that's all working, so I don't like this, and I'm just waiting for that to all fall apart. So I'm going to redo that. We'll put shrink tubing on there. We'll just bypass the connector, and I will find a yellow wire, because that's just, maybe it's a pet peeve of mine, but come on, don't put different color wires jumping, splicing everywhere. Then no one can figure it out. Well, I guess you can figure it out. You take it all apart. So yeah, I'll get that all cut out, and then we will tuck this up, and we'll zip tie it up, and we'll electrical tape it, and we'll make it so it's pretty well waterproof. Yeah, there's some other stuff, but at least that, and then we'll make sure it doesn't burn to the ground when we hook it up, and then we can put the fenders back on. All right, here's what I came up with. Yellow goes to yellow, right? And I know I used red heat shrink, but I mean, it's still yellow, and red. So I'm going to turn the key on. Maybe I'll try and start it, and you guys let me know if any smoke comes out of there. Oh, looks good to me. I didn't see anything. Wires aren't hot, no short. It starts up. Looks like we fixed it. So I'm just going to get it all shoved back up into here, and we'll tuck it away. Pull this out. I think I can tuck it up in there, throw some zip ties on it, and one part done. All right, there we go. So much more room for activities here between the tire. Nothing's hanging down. Nothing's here. Everything's zip tied up. It looks nice. This boot wouldn't go over all the way, so there's electrical tape, but it's, yeah, I'm pleased with that. So let's get our semi-truck mud flap bushing fenders on this thing, and then we can go, and I want to move to that front fender. All right, fenders and seat are on, and it's looking good. So everything lined up nice. The bar is straight. Here's my little grommet deals I made. They protrude a little bit, but, well, I could probably put a washer in there, or I don't know. They're not bad. I think they look fine. And yeah, everything's bolted up. Everything's together. Everything looks good. Yes, we still need to fix the plastics, but I mean, I'm okay with it. It looks good. Yeah, and all that works fine. So here, front fender. So it's missing that much of it. I don't know. Anyways, I looked up prices on these fenders. Ridiculous. Like $150 up. And no. You probably remember that. Some of you do, at least. I found that at the dump. And my thoughts were, let's just take a measurement, okay? So this front fender is from here to here. We're at 13.5 inches. So between the two forks is 13.5 inches. There's a nice groove here. It's a nice body line, I guess you could say. So that body line is at like 9 inches. So when I saw this thing at the dump, I was thinking that has about the right curve for that. And so I just grabbed it, right? And from inside, it's about 13.5 inches. So that would fit there. We just need to take the lip off of it. And then this kind of body line they put in here is actually at 9 inches. So that will match that. It won't have the indent that goes down, but I mean, we can work on that. and then we just have to do some kind of flaring or something. So I want to try and use this metal radio flyer wagon to make the front fender for Ducky. Yeah, we're gonna have to take off some bolts, and it's pretty rusty, but the least we can do is try, and there should be plenty there to make the curve. And I mean, we only need to come down to like the skid plate, because the skid plate will stop. It doesn't need a mud flap, so we just need to make that, and then here it should be, I don't know, it should be wide enough. I don't know. So let's unbolt the rack, take that fender off, and we can try and maybe lay it inside there, take the wheels off, and see what we can do. But yeah, I'm going to try and make a front fender for Ducky out of a radio flyer wagon. Hey, it was, the price is right, okay? The price is right. So yeah, let me get that off, and then we'll see what we can do. All right, fender's off. It was literally 1, 2 bolts, and you can see, yeah, it was not good. So here's my thought process. Something like that. I don't know. I mean, it fits in there. We're gonna have to bend it, of course, but it's about the perfect width. You know, the edges are gonna have to bend and stuff. So it looks like there's some rusty bolts over here. Well, let me get you in there. So yeah, there's a bolt, and they are cracked all the way through. Bolt here, and it looks like, yeah, there's 4 more bolts down here somewhere. So I'll hit this with a wire brush real quick. This side is gross, but we can probably use this as the bottom side. I don't know. I mean, well, yeah, we'll figure it out. But let me get these wheels taken off of this thing. We'll see what we have to grind and cut, and then, yeah, I'm thinking where that line is, if we matched it up like that, it should be, I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be fine. I mean, no one's gonna know, right? No one's gonna know. They'll know, but, well, you'll know. So yeah, let me get these bolts taken out, grind it down, and then we can start actually cutting into it. Those wheels and axles, those went to the semi-permanent collection, you know, the scrap pile, but you don't throw that stuff away. That you can use that stuff. There's all kinds of uses for that. So here's my thought. I'm going to use this side because it only has a slight crack there and there. There's some pretty bad cracks on the other side. Well, I'll just show you. I don't know why. Just look down here. Just down here. Here. So barely even a crack there, barely even a little crack here, but this, yeah, that's a good chunker. And then same thing with here, it's cracked all the way around the hole. So what my idea was is take that, and so we'll kind of do something, I don't know, like that, and then I kind of put it on Ducky, and where those holes are, where it was bolted on, that's like a halfway point. So actually, if I flip it over it's about the same angle and everything. It hits the skid plate just barely. So, but we can bend this metal a little more anyways. So that's a good, I don't know, a good start, I think, for the size we need. So I'll cut this edge off. I'll mark it here, and then I'll just kind of do a rough cut. I won't do a finish cut yet. And then if we, something like that, see, I have room there to spare. So if I can so we might not even have to mess around with those broken spots, because we probably can trim it up anyways. So let's I'll get a rough drawing of what I kind of want, and then we'll start cutting it and leaving ourselves a lot of room to kind of fine tune it, because it's a lot easier to remove metal than it is to add metal. I know you can add metal, welders, yeah, okay, whatever. But it's a lot easier to just take little bits off at a time. I mean, unless you're super stingy, but even I'm not that stingy where I'm going to, well, maybe I would save a piece like that. Okay, well, do what you want to do. So let me get it marked out and we'll start a cutting. All right. It's hard to tell because I'm a genius and I used black paint pen to mark it all out, but I can see it. However, it doesn't show up on camera very well. So anyways, I made this sweet pointer with a green tip just for you guys. So here's how I got it. This is flat. So I went flat and I nothing is measured, okay? Nothing is measured. Everything's just eyeballed because, I mean, A, it's a 40-year-old three-wheeler that I'm putting a metal fender on. B, if it looks good to the eye, who cares? So I'm going to mark it here. I marked it here. We're going to cut along like that. And we're just going to cut this lip right off. Then we're going to come down here, cut all the way around the bottom, and cut up. And cut this lip off. Okay? Then we're going to make an underscore cut all the way along there. And here. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So theoretically, if you look at this, and where my marks are there we go. If you look at it, there's this here, but the whole entire bottom in here is going to bend up. So anything we need to match up will match up along in here. So that's where the bend starts, right here, like that. And we'll just go up like this, and we can bend this out. We will leave this lip on just for now to give us the strength, and we'll just push it up. And then if we need any extra to make this roll, that curve, we have it here. If we don't need it, we'll just cut it off. But we're wasting a little bit that we could have a longer piece, whatever. It's all scrap, and it all came from the junkyard. So, or the dump. So let's just get this all cut, and I'll kind of show you process by process. But from here to here will be flat, where we're going to drill our holes to mount it, because if you look here, it's flat. Yeah, I know it's bumped up, but take it easy first. Just always, you know, do the easy thing first. So we'll get that bend. We might not go as far up as they did here. I don't know. We'll see what looks good. But let's get this cut, trimmed up, and get our blank piece cut out for our fender. All right, there you go, all done. So that's kind of what I was going for, and you know it's good because it's got a Chevy bow tie. See? So where I'm at now is I need to get that bend. So I just need to bend it pretty much across this line right here, just like that. And I know I could go put it in the sheet metal brake. There's a lot of things I could do to do that, but so far we're into this entire fender build for just a grinder, right? So a lot of people own a grinder. Not a lot of people own sheet metal brake. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and do this with 2x4s. If I could put a 2x4 on the bottom, a smaller 2x4 on the top, put my foot on it, and it's just heavy gauge sheet metal. I mean, we can bend it, and we'll just kind of bend it to match that. We don't have to be exact. We don't have to be anything. We will just do it till it looks good. So let me see what I can dig up for 2x4s or maybe a piece of angle iron. I don't know. Let's see what we can find to just do this on the cheap. Homemade sheet metal press engaged. So yeah, that's a wood block on top of a rim. And yeah, that 2x4. Now it might, because it doesn't go all the way across, it might pinch it. I don't know. But what we need to do anyways is notch it down here. So we want to come and notch it down because the sheet metal is going to try and fold over and it'll buckle and whatever. So we need to notch that, notch it here, notch it here, notch it here. And I need to clean that edge all the way up. This edge here, or the flat piece, the side of the fender, the side of the fender, it's easier to grind the paint off of it now to weld it than it is once it's all folded up. However, how far do I need to fold it? Well, here's my thoughts on it. So this, we put it in here where it was supposed to go, or where it's, yeah, the replacement part of it. If you look at the bottom side of this, which is the top side, but it's the bottom now, if that makes sense, that needs to be, well, it'll be the same flushness as the top of that. So if I just pull it up until, if you kind of look, it's about even here. So if I just pull that up until the top of that is even here, then should be at least in the ballpark. So we'll bend those up, and then we'll bend this one up, we'll bend this side up, and then we'll put it on Ducky and just kind of see if it needs any tweaks. I mean, we're doing everything by eye here. We just want it to look halfway decent. I mean, come on. So we'll bend that up, but I got to do some grinding, get all this paint off, and yeah, then we'll see. I also am thinking this curve, I don't know, I might like it flat. I don't know. I won't know. So we'll just bend it. We'll put it on Ducky, and we'll just see. Maybe we like it flat. Maybe it's kind of cool, different. I don't know. I mean, we could do all kinds of stuff. We put louvers in it if we kept. We could. Yeah. So let's just see about cleaning this up. However, I need to get this video edited. I need to get it out to you guys because it's late. I got work. Da 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 da. So we're gonna have to call it here. Join me next time when we get this bent up. It'll be all cleaned up. We'll get it bent up, we'll tack it in, and we'll just see what it looks like on Ducky. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for viewing, and, be blessed. Peace.